Hello everybody, welcome to Mission 1000. It's an amazing journey and I must commend you for staying true. Thank you for being consistent. Thank you for learning, submitting your assignment back to back, for being committed to your growth. It's really phenomenal to have people like yourself watch these videos every day, every week, and being consistent this far. It's a lot, really. I must say it's really a lot, and you staying through despite it being a lot is an amazing one, right? I want to say thank you to you. It's week 11, week 10, the last week, right? And I'm really excited as we wrap up this journey. Thank you for staying true. Thank you for being committed. Thank you for being consistent. Thank you for, despite many things here and there which might have hindered you, pulled you back, you stayed through to the end. Congratulations to you. Well, today is the 10th week and we're talking about closing, challenges and objections handling. Really, those are the things we'll be talking about today, right? So stay with me as we dive right into the main source of today, day 46, which is understanding client objections. So we're going to be learning how to turn objections into opportunities. This is very important for you that as a realtor, one of the things you must understand is that when you present a property to your client or to a prospect or to a lead, right, you must understand that when they raise an objection, it's not them saying I don't want to buy. It's actually them telling you they want to buy. So every realtor has one time or the other been there. You yourself might have been there. I'm sure many people have replied to your status, replied to your Facebook or Instagram page, and then you hear certain objections, right? You present your property with so much passion, posting on status, talking, giving insights here and there to people, and the client seems like they like it and they're flowing along, and then boom, they just tell you it's too far, I need to think about it, it's too expensive, it's not in my budget, I'm not sure I'm ready for it. Different objections. These are the things, if you know how to handle objections, I think you have solved about 60 to 70% of your sales problem, because these are the things you get to experience every day with your clients. Now, here's the truth. Objections are not rejections as the way it comes most of the times. In fact, objections are indicators that your client is actually interested, right? So if they were not interested, they won't even have raised an objection, probably just walk away without saying anything. Either it's on a house project or it's on a land property, right? You must understand that objections are indication that there is a call for something clearer that your client desires to know. So today we're going to be breaking down exactly what objections means, the common ones you face in real estate, and then how you can transform those moments into opportunity to close the deals, right? Because once you can dissolve the objections, once you can come into a place whereby your client gains certain clarity on those objections that they bring up, right, you have higher chances to close those deals, right? So I don't think there is any client who wants to buy a property with certain good amount of money will not raise some objections to gain clarity on further steps they should take, right? So what are objections really? Let's start with objections. What objections really are, right? Objections are questions wrapped in concerns, right? So when you see an objection, it is a question wrapped in concerns. They are simply your client's way of saying, I need more clarity before I make a decision. Do you understand? Your client is telling you, I need more clarity before I make a decision. I want to be sure this decision I'm about to make is worth it, right? So think about it. When a client says it's too expensive, what they're actually saying or actually asking is, can you show me why this price is worth the value that you are giving me? Do you understand? Or when they say the location is too far, they are actually asking what makes this location valuable enough for me to consider despite the distance. Do you understand? So you are seeing objections. The way you see objections as a realtor or as a salesperson is very, very important that you see it the way I'm saying it now. You don't see it as rejection, you don't see it as an antagonism, you don't see it. Some of you, once the client raises an objection, your spirit just drops. No, that is the most moment for you to be actively involved in order to give a solution, right? I've talked about objections in one of our classes before. I talked about the ACE rules in handling objections, right? When a client, for example, again, I want to go back to that video so to get more clarity. This is a further buttressing on that, right? So when they say I don't trust real estate companies, I've been scammed before, my parents, my brother, my sister, are you sure this? What they are saying is that can I be sure you won't take my money and disappear? Can I be sure you guys adhere true to your word because the land is in your custody? Are you sure this company you're representing is genuine? Those kind of questions are what spoils up in the heart of people when they want to make certain decisions, and the way you see them and the way you respond to them determines how fast or how immediate they want to commit to that to that property. So when you shift your mindset from they are rejecting me or they are rejecting this offer or to they are inviting me to give them more value, more clarity, your confidence grows. You stop being defensive and start being solution oriented, right? That's the shift that you need to have in your mindset as a realtor, right? So these are the 4 big categories of objections that you get to face. Now let's break objections into 4 major categories that you get to face as a realtor. Number 1, the price objection. I've talked about this before, but yes, it's not bad to repeat the same again, right? Price objections. Price objection is very, very common. In fact, one of the most common objections a lot of clients brings up. In fact, now there are categories of clients. There are clients who are price driven, value driven, status driven. You understand, right? We've spoken about this before. But the price objection, for example, the land is too expensive or the house is too pricey, right? What they really mean is that they don't yet see why they should put in so much money, or why is there so much. They've not seen the value matching the costing of that property. So you want to help them see the value. So your job is now to focus on benefits and future appreciation and flexible payment plans. Now you focus on seeing on the benefit. Probably you're selling a house, for example, in Lekki, or you're selling a property in Tama, right? You want to focus on the environment, the value of that environment the property is in. You want to focus on, if you are selling a land in Kuje, in Gwagwalada, you want to focus on the future appreciation of value, the return on investment. Those are ways to solve that kind of price objection. Somebody is bringing an objection that can't afford it now, I don't want to buy land. You bring up easy payment plan. Okay, with this help your process, it will help you in making your decision. Do you understand? So that way you are positioning your client for a better chance to buy. And the second kind of objection is the location objection, right? Example, it's too far from town. For example, you're selling a project in Kisiana, in Gwagwalada, in Kuje. These are kind of objections you get to receive from clients. They say it's too far from town. Why is it too far from town? They are used to being in places whereby where they're used to being in places whereby their work location is proximate to where they live. Now going to somewhere further, right, it seems too far. The thing is that the earth is far from itself. One location is always a distance relative to another location, right? So when it comes to locational differences, it's relative to places of concerns. What are the things that you want to be close to you if you're talking in relation to distance, right? So what your client really mean in this kind of scenario is that they want to see the value matching the cost, right? So you want to shift from just trying to defend the distance and talk about the locational value, the locational future value and benefits that it's there. So your job is to focus on benefits. Now, okay, now what you want to do is, what your client really wants is that they are worried about accessibility when they talk about distance, right? They're worried about accessibility, infrastructure, and long-term growth. So you want to help them to see that this location has good road accessibility, check. You want to see that infrastructure, certain governmental infrastructure are coming there. In Kuje, for example, there is a local airport they are being built, the university they are being built. There are great amenities, you know, in Kuje there. In Gwagwalada, for example, all commercial banks are in Gwagwalada. The power plant powering Nigeria is in Gwagwalada by the NNPC, has been inaugurated by our dear president. As at now, this video is being made, President Bola Tinubu, right? We have a university, we have barracks, we have great churches in Gwagwalada, right? We have teaching hospitals. So you want to help them to see why this environment is very, very thriving and viable. And moreover, every location that seems very, very up and running today was once a bush. They transform into city. So you want to help them to see into the future possibilities of that location. So you want to talk about road expansion, upcoming landmark, government projects in that area, the highlight development plans that are currently there and are proposed to be in that location, right? So these are ways you answer distance or locational objections. Another kind of objection is the time objection. Time is another major objection that your client gets to bring up in a sales conversation. For example, they will say, okay, let me think about it, or I will buy later, or let me, now how do you do this? So what's your client, you must understand, when your client is saying this kind of thing, you want to understand that, in fact, let me put this to you, when your client brings up this kind of objection, just know that they have the money. Know that it is not a money problem. In fact, let me give you these things that you need to have, but probably I should make a video of certain fixed mindset you need to have as a realtor for free. Let me give you these two. Number one, know that any client who shows interest in your project has potential of buying it, has capacity, in fact, of buying it. Number two, position yourself as a helper to your client. You are an helper to your client. When your client seeks for property, seeks for a landed property, see yourself as the one doing them a favor, taking up the hustle as a realtor, taking them the hustle of trying to sort for property, trying to get the right location to settle in for their family or for their investment, and see yourself strategically positioned to enhance and to give them what they really desire. So they should see you as someone of great benefit to them, right? These are keys that will help put your mind in a position that gives you more value in the eyes of your client, right? They should see you as a consultant. They should see you as someone they can trust, right? Do you understand? So timely objection, right? What your clients are really saying, what they really mean is that they are scared of commitment. They are scared of commitment at that time. Do you understand? Or they don't feel the urgency yet. They don't feel the need yet. Not that they don't have the capacity to yet. not that they don't have the capacity to yet. They don't feel the urgency yet. So in your own place, what you can do is that you can create urgency. Let them see the need to key in to buy in now. Create the urgency by showing how fast plots are selling and how price will increase soon. Show how limited plots are possibly remaining in the estate. Do you understand? That is how you do it, right? That is how you deal with timely objections. The fourth one is trust objection. This one is a major objection. Every client seeks clarification when it comes to trusting you. They want to be sure, can I trust you? Can I trust you? Can I trust this company? Can I trust you, what you're saying? Can I trust your word? I've had a client who paid their first installment, paid the second installment, and still say, I beg you, no fail me. I beg, are you sure? Do you understand? Yes, in pidgin English now. Right? Trust objections. The client wants to be desperately clear and confident that this decision they're making is worth the while. So, for example, they say, how do I know that this land is genuine? Are you sure? What's the paper like? You know, they want to confirm. What they really mean is that they have had too many fraud stories, or they've had some experience and they want reassurance. You've given them assurance on the first level, but they need reassurance. So your job is to provide documents, testimonials, companies track record, and invite them for sightseeing, inspection, invite them and encourage them to go and do further FCDA, for example in Abuja, clarification, go to the land office, maybe in Lagos, maybe it's a survey title or it's the RO, the CFO, you want to go and check the authenticity of those papers that the company is selling, right? So there's a time whereby you've grown in credibility, you've grown in stature. When a client sees, oh, is this brand that is bringing out, oh, is this person saying that, don't worry, I've seen it before, it has worked. It will take you like 5 years to gain such dexterity in the market. So now let's talk about how you can actually handle objections in a professional way, and there are 4 key principles that can help you handle objection. Number 1, stay calm and positive. Stay calm and positive. You don't want to be in a position whereby you are on ease with your client objections. Stay calm and positive, right? Never argue, never become defensive. You look somehow to your clients. You need to be on their side, but on your side, right? Be on their side, but on your side. If you look shaky, the client loses confidence in you, and right, instead of you looking all of those shaky and trying to be defensive, all of a sudden, rather you smile, you nod, you listen, but online you send a voice note to show clarity, confidence and assurance, right? Number 2, listen fully before responding. And one of the best scenarios that will come to my mind when it comes to this is be an understanding boyfriend. I know we have a lot of understanding girlfriend, but you be an understanding boyfriend. As now, in the case of you being a realtor, learn to listen to your babe, learn to give that security. When a client is speaking and bringing out objection, they are trying to find financial security, they are trying to find emotional security, trust security. Security is a major thing that's on their topmost mind when they bring up certain objections. It's not a way of them saying no to you. It's not a way of them saying they are not willing to buy. So you need to listen fully. Sometimes your girlfriend comes to you, for the guys now, you understand, and for ladies, you understand that sometimes this is one of the things you want from the guy, and you just want to just talk to you, you just want to just express everything, and you just want you to just listen, and that does the job for them, that does justice for them in that kind of scenario, that is the same way it is for your client. They just want you to just listen. You listen actively to them, and then when you listen, you don't just cut them while they are still talking. You allow them finish, right? And then you can even repeat some of the things that they said to you. So let them know that you understand where they are coming from, and you understand the perception that they are trying to bring to the table. And then you can then bring from that point of objection. Say, okay, so I can see your concern about the relative distance in this investment you're considering. Do you understand? Then you can then prefer solution. The third line is what? Acknowledge and show empathy. Show empathy. Acknowledge their objections. Let them know it is not them overthinking. Let them know it's not them just exaggerating the matters. Acknowledge them. Say something like, that's very valid consideration you have there. This helps many of your clients to feel to feel safe with you when you acknowledge their concerns, right? So you can say something. Many of our clients felt the same way initially. This lowers, when you say something like that, this lowers their guards, right? Then you begin to prefer solution. Then the fourth one now is to provide evidence and solution. Provide evidence and solutions. Use stories, testimonials, site visits, book, and blah 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 in order to help them gain clarity on the investment they're about to make, right? So that, I think that helps, right? So I just want to list out some kind of practical examples, real life examples that can help a objection relationship. Okay, so let's play out some real life objection handling. In the first scenario now, client 1 is saying, it's too expensive. You as a realtor, how do you respond? You can say, okay, I understand how you feel about this project. In fact, some of our clients thought the same initially, but when they looked at how fast this land and this area is appreciating or has appreciated over the past 3 years, they realized that it was actually one of the smartest investments we'll have made at that financial level which they were at the moment. Plus, we also offer a flexible installment plan that affords you the easement of payment whilst your land appreciating value. Imagine this kind of response. Put yourself in a position as a client. Wouldn't you feel very much impressed? Your guards are let down. For the second scenario, client 2 now, for example, is bringing up an objection of a locational objection. The first one was the price objection. This one now is a locational objection. The client is saying it's too far from the city center. Okay, what will be your response to the client as a realtor? Okay, you say, I see why you should. Here is why you should think about that. I see why you're thinking about that. You acknowledge. I see why you're thinking about that. But let me show you something. Let me share with you something with you. This same area had lots at 500,000 naira 3 years ago. Today it's selling for 3 million naira because of the new highway that was constructed. Begin to list out things that shows the place promising, and that's why smart investors buy early before development fully comes to their place, because they are smart to take the place early and affordable before price goes up. And you must understand that every place that looks relative distance was once a bush, or what you seem like a city was once a bush. Now if you go back in history, when Transcorp was being built, the whole of the central area was all bush. The next closest building to it was Secretariat, very far away from it, right? It was literally in bush they were clearing, but they built. You cannot imagine how much they bought the land. Very ridiculous price, because they bought the bush. They had to clear. If you go and look at the picture, you see all around was forests, but they built. You need to be futuristic. Now we cannot celebrate that place, call it town. Every town was once bush. So, and another client scenario when it comes to trust objection. Now, for example, the client say, how do I know that your company is legit? How do I know you guys are not scams? They might not say to use scams. How much they might use other terms, but they are trying to get to know if you guys are legit, right? So for you as a realtor, this is what you can say. Okay, that's a great question. Here is our certificate of occupancy, the CFO of the title document of our land is available for you to see when you come to our office. Our company is duly registered under CAC. We have our affiliation with, we are duly registered with SCUMA. We don't deal with money laundering. Every of our processes are highly monitored by the government, recognized fully by the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we are happy to introduce you to clients who are bought from us, and they can give you their honest feedback so that you can be more assured if this works for you. You can even visit our property and see the physical development for yourself, right? So this way you see how calm, structured response can turn hesitation into confidence, right? This turns the client hesitation into a confidence decision that they want to make, right? So one last thing, always remember that objections are actually buying signals. They are actually what? Buying signals. Clients who are not interested at all don't bother raising objections. If they are not interested, they will not be raising the objections in the first place. The fact that they are questioning they are questioning means that they are considering buying, right? But they just need more reassurance in that decision. So treat every objection as a step closer to a what? A yes. A very capital YES. Right? So here's the assignment for today. Write down 5 most common objections you have faced from clients. Write down 5 most common objections you have faced from clients. Next to each one, write down the calm, value-driven response you will give next time, or you have given if it's in line with what I've taught you, right? This way, when objections comes, you will already be prepared. Do this assignment, it will create that mental preparedness in you, right? You're already prepared, and instead of being nervous, right, you will see them as opportunity to build trust and to close more deals. I hope this is helpful to you, right? So that's my close to you. Realtors, negotiations and objections, objection handling are the art of sales. Negotiation and objection handling are the art of sales. You can't be a great salesperson if you don't know how to negotiate. You can't be a great salesperson if you don't know how to deal or handle objections professionally. If you master this, you will never fear client pushback again. Instead, you will become you rather welcome objections, because you know that they are stepping stones to closing that deal. Yeah, so remember this: objections are not rejections. Just like I said earlier, they are invitations to show more value, right? Objections are not rejections. They are invitations to show more value. Well, thank you for listening. My name is Emmanuel Adeyemi, and I'm your mentor on this journey becoming a high-class realtor entrepreneur in the real estate space. Thank you for listening. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, day 47, when as we talk about price and budget objection.